And I kind of hope you're keeping warm depending on where you're at geographically, specifically in the United States. If you're, within the central or southern U.S., you're probably experiencing some extreme cold along with the great rolling blackouts that are kind of taking place. So, the topic of this conversation being laptop and Ethereum mining. If you're doing that down here, um, you may lose out on some profits in the middle of the night because they're going to shut you off. Some people might be happy to see that. Other people may be, less than thrilled, but that's okay. But, I wanted to bring this video because I started asking myself the other day, like, I need to get another video out. What is it going to be about? And I started thinking to myself, let's talk about why there's such a craze right now for these GPUs and why people are buying up the laptops. And, about the time I'm thinking about this and going, I'm going to do that video, I get a pop-up. The little news section as you swipe to the left of your Google on your Android phones and also on your, Apples. I get this Tom's Hardware article. Laptop mining farms are the latest craze. Here's the math behind the madness. And I thought, dadgummit, here I am wanting to, put out this video. And it looks like someone's already beat me to the punch. They knew what I was thinking, right? Nah, doubtful. Here's this article that goes through and kind of talks about the math. So some more pictures. Look at this. Look at this. All these laptops cracked open. They're just floating around and, they're going and basically they're talking about, RTX 20 series GPUs with 8 gigs of GDR6. And by the way, if you're not as knowledgeable or kind of new to this, Ethereum mining craze, you can't mine anymore with a 4 gigabyte card. It looks like you have to have between 6 and 8 gigabytes, with 6 being on the low end of it. And this is apparently because of the size of the solution that's being solved, the epoch as it goes forward, the DAG size as it's called. Maybe I'll put together a video kind of detailing that further if anyone's interested. But if you're interested, there's tons of videos out there already on YouTube. But for some of you, again, that are interested in trying to figure out why are people doing this? Apparently, you can get 45 mega hash a second with a desktop RTX 3060 Ti, and a 3070 manages 60 mega hash. But apparently, I said that wrong. An RTX 20 series GPU will get around 45 mega hash a second. So if we not click our bit defender, interesting, that was a mistake. Let's go here to our mining calculator and we look at 45 mega hash per second. I'll put this down in the link below. Let's say that laptop runs at, I don't know, it's going to run at maybe 150 watts, right? You're going to see here, even with 9 cent a kilowatt hour of power, you're looking at a profit per year of $1,588. And apparently these laptops are going for, I do believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think they said, $1,200. So $1,200, $1,380. And these look like Chinese laptops that they're going for, but it's still taking up the, the supply of GPUs. Anyway, $1,200 laptop, you're gonna profit $1,588. So you're gonna profit about what, $300-400 out of a year, and here's what you're gonna mine. Now a lot of people go, well, is that really worth it? I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It just depends on what they're trying to accomplish. Are they just looking to break even and make a profit, or are they holding, or hodling as they like to call it in the industry? If they're holding, it's quite possible that this is actually going to be a far better profit than just that $1,588. It just depends on what their ROI horizon is. Nevertheless, this is the reason why people are buying these up. And just kind of put this in perspective, think about this. They did mention here that a desktop GPU, 3070, will manage around 60 mega hash a second. So, those desktop GPUs right now, they're going for what? $1,200? Thereabout? I know, thrilling, huh? We'll say they run up 200 watts. Look at that. 60 mega hash a second, you're going to make $2,118.64 in a year, allegedly. Now, this is allegedly. This doesn't mean that you're really going to get it. The reality is that these prices fluctuate, right? And with all of these miners jumping into the bandwagon, the question becomes whether or not they're mining to quickly turn a profit, ergo they've bought these cards on loan, or they financed them and they've got to make money now. If that's the case, it's going to keep some pressure on the prices of Ethereum. However, if a lot of these people are grabbing this and holding on it, then you know, quite possibly larger profits. Also, the fact that you can convert into Bitcoin. So it just depends on what they're doing. If they're taking this and then converting it immediately into Bitcoin, um, there's a potential for a lot of upside there. Plus, you're pulling, money out of the Ethereum, might bring that down too. I don't know. We'll have to kind of keep a watch and see. Now, if there's a lot of people holding, which I have a hard time believing with the price of, all of this equipment that people are just holding. But if they do, it may drive the price up even more, which will, drive people to mine a lot more. But if you're just curious as to why, people are spending the money that they're spending right here. I mean, look at that. $1,200 GPU, and you're going to make, allegedly, if, again, this stuff fluctuates. It's quite possible they won't make this at all. But when you're looking at a mining calculator like this, someone's going, wait a minute. If I buy something for $1,200, even though it was only $600, but if I buy it for $12, I'm going to get $21 back. Well, shucks, I'm going to get my money back. And just for reference, I have in this particular machine that I'm working with here, I have an RTX 2060 Super, and I was like, hey, what does an RTX 2060 Super get when when you just get some hash out of it, put it in there and let it go, and it gets, I think it was like about 35 mega hash a second. So it's definitely not that. It's about maybe 150 watts. Power is a little bit cheaper in my area, but you're still looking at around $1,200 for an RTX 2060 Super. $1,200. So if you already own an RTX 2060, you might look into, jumping in there. You're going to make $3.31 a day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you should do mining. I'm not going to tell you what you should do with your money or anything either. Again, as everyone has to do, this is not financial advice. This is entertainment. And, the cryptocurrency world is very volatile. So that being said, it's quite possible you'll lose a lot if you try to go out and buy a GPU now and try to mine it out. But if you already have one, I don't know. You're looking at potentially making back the money that you spent on it, 2 years ago, right? If you're out buying a GPU or looking to buy a GPU, I cannot see these prices going down. And just for reference, I bought a 6900 XT back, it was sometime middle of January, and I had to pay, unfortunately, I couldn't get it new. I just wanted one. I had to pay somewhere near $1,400. They're more than that now. I mean, we're looking at, I want to say $1,500-$1,600. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I could have waited. I could have sat on it, but I wanted a new GPU. It was swapping them around, and I'm happy I did it because I don't know whenever they're going to come back in stock. I don't know when they're going to come back in stock with a price that's actually doable. That being said, this is kind of that math here, and there's a few more articles. eBay pricing for all GPUs continue to rise. This is all of these seem to be Tom's Hardware except for CoinDesk. Tom's Hardware is not very happy with them, and I can understand why. The gamers are not being able to get their GPU, and I'm generally a gamer. I enjoy gaming with my GPUs. That being said, I have been involved in the cryptocurrency industry off and on for the last decade. So I've gone through waves of GPUs and mining. I bought a bunch of GPUs to mine for Litecoin back in 2012. I've used it to mine coins here and there since then and jumped in and out. So I see both sides of this fence here. I can definitely see why people would do this. If they're making money, they're going to do it. And we can all get mad at them for doing this, but it's not their fault. And a lot of these people are coming from places where, $5 a day it's a lot of money. I don't know. I haven't done a deep investigation to know how leveraged any of these farms are, if they're actually able to go off and get the the cash necessary. What are they paying the people there? I don't know. So it's it could be that they're highly leveraged and really it's a bad deal all around, or it could be some of them. I suspect there's a mix of the two. But my guess is there's some leverage taking place there. So that's why I kind of believe Ethereum is going to have a lid on it a little bit. It's not going to go up too much more. It's at $1,800 right now. There's too many people jumping in and probably dumping off their holdings quickly so that they can get a return on their investment. But if you're looking at, 10,000 GPUs and you're looking at, I don't know, Let's do a calculator run right here. Let's say you spend, $1,200 for 50 of these units. You're looking at $60,000, but each of those units makes you, I don't know, 1,550. We could just do this math here times 50. Still looking at $17,500 in profit. I mean, that could be very much worth it. And if you're talking about 100, just double it, $35,000 in profit. For a lot of places, that's good cash. So it's a very bad situation. And I see allegedly that at least Nvidia or some of the AIB partners are looking into making mining cards. But unless those mining cards are substantially cheaper than their counterpart GPU, no one's going to care. And I wonder if they're going to care anyway. I mean, if you're going to make a profit off of a desktop GPU, I mean, those other ones will sell out quick and they're just going to jump right back on to buying desktop GPUs. So there would have to be a substantial volume of mining specific GPUs at a lower price, substantially lower price, to fill that demand for it to be relevant, for it to help the gamers out there. Otherwise, they'll just burn through that and then they'll go right back to buying the desktop GPUs. So I don't know, unless there's an Ethereum crash in the next few months, I just don't see this going away for a while. I know a lot of people are hoping and wishing, and I feel for them, and I hope and wish too. I just don't see AMD or Nvidia greatly increasing their manufacturing and getting supply into the channel necessary to satiate demand. It's just not going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. And because as long as Ethereum's up and going up, as long as it's sitting around $1,800, people are going to eat it up. They're going to buy it. They're going to immediately buy it. It doesn't matter. They're just going to buy it. As long as there's a profit to be made, it doesn't matter how many GPUs you put in the channel. They're going to buy it. This is going to, it's just the way it is. We saw this back in 2017. The good news, I suppose, is when it finally does drop, there's going to be a glut of 3000 series GPUs on the market. There's going to be a glut of them. And the only other saving grace is if the DAG size for Ethereum gets so large that 8 gigabyte GPUs are no longer reliable for it. I haven't looked at the math. I apologize. I probably should do more research. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. The 4 gigabyte cards apparently just went out of style back in December. So December 2020. You might be able to find in 4 gigabyte cards for a respectable price if you're looking. You might be able to get yourself an RX 580 with 4 gigs for a decent price, as long as some of the other altcoins don't come in and fill the gap that has been lost due to Ethereum's DAG size. Don't know. All I could say is if you're interested in getting an RTX 3000 series laptop, if you haven't already, go for it. I haven't looked at Alienware in a couple days. I know mine is on its way. It should have been here today. Unfortunately, the weather's caused grief. But you might check and see if you're really interested in getting something. I know the RTX 3070 and 3080 on the laptops are not as good as the desktop variants, but they're not bad. If you're looking to get a new gaming GPU / laptop or machine, as of last time I looked, it was still a respectable lead time, about 2 weeks, which is normal with Alienware, about 2 weeks for my build, and I bought it on the day one. So other than that, I mean, here you go, guys. As long as it's profitable, there's just not going to be any sort of let up in the pricing right now. So it's bad news if you're a gamer. I suppose it's great news if you're a cryptocurrency miner. Just depends on which side of the fence you're on. In any case, hope you guys have a wonderful evening, wonderful day, morning, wherever you may be. And until next time, have a good one.